I'm Shay Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Bruce Lane, the CEO of GTI Energy. Bruce, it's great to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, Shay. It's good to see you again too.
Thank you so much for joining me. I believe you're coming to me from Toronto because you've been at PDAC this week, so we'll touch on that in just a moment. First and foremost, let's kick off with the excellent news coming out of your Lo Herma project over in Wyoming. You've completed the fieldwork required for a scoping study. This is a key milestone. Can you elaborate on it a little bit, please?
Yeah, we've been obviously working towards trying to finish off our hydrogeology work. We completed a resource update at the end of last year, and got some good network, some good leachability study results in a few weeks ago. And so we've just been working through finishing off 4 water monitor wells, and also then doing some permeability testing just to check that everything's set up for positive bore field flows. So the good news is we've wrapped all that up now, and really we're on track to complete the scoping study, in the next couple of months anyway. Yep.
You've certainly had a couple of busy quarters, and I look forward to what's ahead. But before we get to that, you are currently in Toronto, as I started today's conversation with. The world's biggest mining conference has just wrapped up a couple of hours ago. What are sort of the key learnings that you took away from this event this year?
Yeah, look, we come so that we can talk to our neighbours and also hear their presentations and get a sense of what activity is going on out there. It's not all in the presentations that you see or the public domain. So there's the backroom conversations are certainly worth being a part of. And there's no question that there's a continuing optimism about the future for uranium, despite, we've seen some pretty erratic movements in share prices over the last few days. And I think, I guess the tariff announcements haven't been helpful, and that there's a few jitters in the macro, I guess. But the backdrop for uranium is extremely positive. The news coming out of the US continues to be very positive. Look, if the tariffs do come into play, that should make US uranium even more attractive than it already is. So, look, it's very worthwhile being here, and it's not as frothy as it was for uranium this time last year, but still the underlying thematic is very, very constructive.
And finally, you're going from Toronto to Lo Herma. You've actually got a site visit coming up. I love it when the CEOs get their boots dusty. Tell me, what are you on site to achieve? And also, what sort of news flow can we expect to hear from GTI over the coming months?
Yeah, look, the news flows probably will focus on the scoping study. So we won't have much in the way of field results or testing results over this period. So the thing will be to look out for that scoping study to be published. And I guess we'll update on the likelihood of the timing around that as we go along. And I'm going down to the project to talk to some of our stakeholders down there, and also to spend some time with the technical team as we head into that scoping study. So this is really the exciting part, is we get to be able to put on paper what we think the economic potential of the project is. And we know we've got a project down the road at Shirley Basin, which is being built at the moment, which is a similar size to the project that we have in front of us. And what I want to emphasize here is that what we'll be doing is targeting a baseline scoping study. The project as it stands at 8.57 million pounds of inferred and indicated is really, you could see it as a starting point for the project. There's an additional 6 to 11 million pounds at the moment on top of that in exploration target. So what we're trying to do is create a baseline at the project and show that it could support a central processing plant, and certainly it could operate as a satellite for another plant if that was the preferred route. And so what we want to do is demonstrate the optionality around that and the economic case for continuing to invest in the project, from here on.
Listen, Bruce, I look forward to those updates, and hopefully when you're back from site, we can catch up. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll speak with you soon.
Yeah, great, Shay. Thanks for taking the time and giving me an opportunity to talk to your audience. And yeah, we'll talk again soon.